Where was it? New York City. That's the only. Is there another place to be other than New York City?
It's Doha.
Yeah. Oh, there's Doha. Yeah. Okay. There, boom, boom. So one day I was at Def Jam. I was standing in the front, and he pulled up in a Rolls Royce, and he jumped out with 2 models. And I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna start me a record label."
His content goes crazy. Like, he has all the celebrities coming over. Hey, can I get a chopped cheese the Aki way? Sure.
وعسى تكرهوا شيئا وهو خير لكم.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah. Sometimes you hate something, but it's good for you, or
Sometimes you love something and it's bad for you.
And I never really talked about this until now.
Welcome back, the Noop Theory, TNT. My name is Ayman Badawi,
I'm Omar Amin.
and today we have a different kind of episode. It's a very special episode. Without further ado, welcome to the show, welcome to Doha, welcome to the Noop Theory, Mr. Haqq Islam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, it had to happen. I feel like this was the second time you're visiting Qatar,
No,
last year and this year.
no, I came before that.
This is the second time I've had the pleasure
Oh, okay.
of seeing
Yes,
you
yeah,
in
yeah,
Qatar.
yeah, yeah.
And I couldn't let you leave this time without us having this conversation.
Thank you.
And I think it's only fitting that we're doing it. We're actually filming a couple of days before Ramadan, but it's going to come out in Ramadan. But yeah, man, pleasure to have you.
Thank
you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Brother Haqq,
Appreciate it.
we're really excited. This is, and like, we always look forward to this, having our guests. We've talked about this, and I don't think of a better way or a better guest to
You're
have this
actually
stuff.
our first guest.
Yeah.
This is the first guest episode of TNT.
Alhamdulillah.
All right.
I'm glad to be number one.
Yeah, man, always. So I think I'm going to start with a very sort of broad question because we want to start inviting the viewers and the listeners to this conversation. So I'm going to start by asking you, if our audience were to get to know who's sitting with us right now, what would they want to know about you and your background?
I think I'm an extreme creative. I love Islam. I love our deen. I love being Muslim. And I love participating in the creative process of helping people understand our deen in some shape, form, or fashion.
But where does that come from? What's the origin story of how that came to be?
It's just been always a part of me. Islam is with us since Adam, peace be upon him. So it took a call to wake that up, what was already inside you.
Yeah.
So when I heard Islam, it was like, wow, what is that? You know?
How old were you when this happened, when you heard about
I was a
Islam?
teenager.
Okay.
I was a teenager. I think 14, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Where were you?
Where was it? New York City. That's the only. Is there another place to be other than New
Doha.
York City?
It's Doha.
Yeah. Oh, there's Doha. Yeah. Okay. Boom, boom. We got it. You know, no, but on the street side, there was a group called the 5%, and that introduced me to Islam. And most people know the 5%ers, Nation of Gods and Earths, from hip hop.
Yeah.
Because the Nation of Gods and Earth, 5%ers dominate hip hop to this day. And at the genesis of hip hop was mostly 5%ers. And I think the most prominent one is the God Rakim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, God Rakim Allah, he's the one that everybody knows, but most people don't know why he's the God. You know, because within the 5%ers, we called ourselves gods and earths. And it came from, I think, Psalm 82, you are all God's children of the Most High, out of the Bible. And it's like, I don't know, having a glass of water. If I go to the Pacific Ocean right now and I come back and I say, hey, this is a part of the ocean. I give you a glass of the Pacific Ocean. It's a small part of it. So the logic of it was that being God is that you're a part of the greater panacea of Allah.
Okay.
You know, so
Yeah.
that's where it came from. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's also the arm, leg, arm. That's
Arm,
a
head.
yeah.
Yeah. For Allah, that was a part of it.
Yeah.
You know, but the essence of you being a part of Allah. So that's why we say peace, God.
Yeah.
Instead of assalamu alaikum.
Okay.
It was a lot of what we did was in English. So you would have somebody named King Allah, Born Allah.
Okay.
The names were not in Arabic. Oftentimes,
Yeah.
they were in English.
But even then, like now when I think of your name, Haqq Islam, like that translates to the truth of Islam.
Yeah, absolute truth, actually.
The word Haqq is mentioned in the Quran.
Yeah.
Many times.
Many times.
It's a name of Allah. It's a al-haq.
Yeah.
So even though it's not, it is Arabic, but it's
But that's my personal evolution.
right.
That was when I was a 5%er. That wasn't my name.
What was your name?
True Mathematics.
Nice.
True Mathematics.
Yeah, True Mathematics.
What was the name you were born with though?
I was born with Abdul Haqq Islam. That's when my next birth.
That's
Nice.
when you okay.
The birth. That
Yeah.
that slave name, you'll never get it out of me. You'll never get it out of me.
It doesn't even exist. It's not
It doesn't
real.
even exist. I don't even know that guy. That guy dead. He's dead. He's dead. We killed him. He died on the
Alhamdulillah.
plantation.
Okay.
That man dead. You know.
So what was about the 5%ers, or I guess their teachings of Islam? What was refreshing about it? What was like, especially
It was Islam.
at that time? And
It was Islam. It was the brotherhood, the unity. On the streets of New York, the guards had it wrapped up, you know, and you will go anywhere because a lot of it reminds me of Quranic, what we do in terms of Quran, because you had to know the lessons backwards and forwards, so you had to memorize it. You know, now that's, you know, when you evolve, you understand the meaning of Hafiz.
Yeah.
But that wasn't it. But you had to memorize all the lessons, and I'll give you what that means. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he was taught by a man named Farad Muhammad, right? And at the end of the teaching process, he gave him 120 questions and answers. And he would question the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and get the answers. And then when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad completed the process, Master Farad Muhammad left. And he left the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in charge. 120 questions and answers. This is what we had to study as 5%ers to understand the basis of the Nation of Islam's teachings, right?
Okay.
And within those teachings, you have who is the 85%, who is the 10%, and who is the 5%.
Okay.
So the 85% was uncivilized people. I won't go into the whole lesson, but you know, just
Yeah, very broadly.
broadly, uncivilized people. 10% were rich slave makers of the poor, people that knew the truth but hid it. And the 5%, poor righteous teachers, were those who knew the truth and taught the people
And spread it, right?
and spread it. So that's why we were called the 5%ers,
okay.
because we were 5% of the 100%.
I don't want to. Sorry, I'm so sorry, but this thought just came into my head. That's kind of like Qawm Quraysh, and like the different stories that, because on this side of the world you learn Islam so much, it's so different compared to what you just explained. But I want to try and throughout this conversation try and like
It's
build,
very important because there are
build a
parallels.
bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
There are
parallels,
very
and
clear
I see
ones,
them.
by the way.
Yeah.
Very clear ones.
Yeah.
Like right now, as you were explaining that, Qawm Quraysh, there was always like also like the not uncivilized, I guess, برضو. There
Yeah.
was like a Qawm, there was like all of these groups of people. Like there was a Qawm that was the uncivilized, I
Yeah.
guess, Qawm al-Jahl.
Well, I think the whole time period was Jahiliyyah. It was a time of ignorance.
Jahiliyyah,
Yeah.
Right? And then there's like the people that knew the message but kept it secret. I don't know who those were, but
Okay.
I'm sure there's, because
Okay.
I also don't want to like misquote
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
of these stories. But then there's also the group of the Sahaba
They were like, I see what you're going with
The
this. Yeah,
Sahaba
yeah.
are the people who knew the message and
We're spreading it.
were
They were the
spreading
poor
it.
righteous teachers.
Yeah, the Poor Righteous Teachers.
Yeah.
And there was a hip hop group called Poor Righteous Teachers.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Their influence on hip hop is it's insane. It's
Subhanallah.
because like Tribe is also 5%. Tribe Called Quest was
No, Tribe are Muslims.
they're Sunnis.
They're Muslims.
Ali Shaheed and Q-Tip.
And Q-Tip, Kamal. Yeah.
Okay.
Muslims. So it's hip hop is dominated by Muslims or 5%ers.
Interesting.
From the Genesis. And I know who's who. This is why my first documentary we produce will be on Islam's influence on hip hop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, just touching on this connection of hip hop, you also discovered some very, as we said in the intro, you discovered some like big names in the 90s. Is discovered the right way to explain it?
Yes, but before we go there, I want to talk about my personal evolution
Oh yeah.
for a minute.
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
Because I had a rap group called Divine Sounds, right? And while I was in high school, for some strange reason, not strange, but by fate, I met Minister Louis Farrakhan, right? And we became very close, you know? So when I went to Howard, I went to Howard University, greatest university in the world, by the way. My relationship with him just kept evolving and evolving and evolving. And my rap group, Divine Sounds, when I left, they went on to make a couple of records and stuff like that. But I took the hip hop culture and I took my basic organizational skills to Howard, right? Minister Farrakhan is the one that changed my name to Abdul Haqq Islam.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Inshallah.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that man taught me so much, you know, just in life, you know. But he's the one that named me.
Did you take? Is this when you took your shahada? You changed your name?
I took soon thereafter.
Okay, gotcha.
I took my
Yeah, yeah.
shahada.
Okay.
You know, and just I recently retook it just because, you know, no, you know, I just wanted to celebrate it again, so I did it, you know, April of 2025, just because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because, you know.
To kind of
Yeah.
reinvigorate.
Yeah. Because I mean, you know, as Muslims, we could do it as often as we want. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt, and then when I was at the masjid and when I did it, it said, "Hey, you sound like you know what you're doing." I said,
It's not my first rodeo.
"Yeah, my first rodeo."
You're
Yeah,
smurfing.
yeah,
That's what the kids
yeah,
call it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you're smurfing. Okay.
So at Howard, I began to organize hip hop concerts, and I organized a conference, and I was very active politically, and I was watching things happen. Through Minister Farrakhan, I met Kenny Gamble, who the legendary producer, songwriter, some of the greatest hits you ever known, like from Me and Mrs. Jones to Wake Up Everybody. You know, he's behind. And he's also a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I was introduced to him, and our relationship developed, right? So I just kept evolving and evolving and evolving, and I grew up in Queens, New York, and I saw people from the neighborhood being successful in hip-hop. Like, I saw LL Cool J, but more importantly, I saw Russell Simmons, because he grew up not far from me, and so did Run DMC, right? So when I was in college, I'd come back home and I'd see all this stuff going on, you know? And as we started to organize events politically, we would get Def Jam to support some of the things we were doing,
Wow.
you know? And Russell was always good about supporting our political events, right? And my partner at the time, there was a few brothers, but the one that was the spearhead was Sister Soldier, you know? So we would organize these events, and Def Jam would support it, and I said, damn, that's Russell from the neighborhood. So one day I was at Def Jam, I was standing in the front, and he pulled up in a Rolls Royce, and he jumped out with 2 models. And I said, yeah, I'm going to start me a record label. It's like him. You know what I'm saying?
Looks like good life.
This guy, if he could do it, he's from the neighborhood. You know, I grew up on 143rd. He grew up on 204th. So it's Queens is big but small.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, like, damn, Russell. Then I saw him with a fur jacket on. I said, wow, that's Russell from the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Then I see him in magazines with this model and that. I said, damn, that's Russell. And everybody started to follow him because it said if he could do it,
Right.
Yeah.
we can do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All it takes is one.
All it takes is one. So I was doing concerts and whatnot at Howard University. Hip hop was young, so they didn't have venues, and touring was difficult, right? So I set up me and my friends. It wasn't me alone. I had some great friends at Howard University. We started something called University Promotions, and with University Promotions, we started to promote hip hop on black college and university campus. At the time, I think it was 142 black colleges and universities that went from Pennsylvania all the way to Florida, you know, so-called black belt. So I would call the universities and say, hey, if you gave me your venue for free, I'd bring your hip hop back. Then I call one of the record companies, Def Jam, and I'd say, hey, give me an act. You know?
Okay.
So we were
So you're kind of piecing it together.
And then they started to pay us because they saw the value of promoting on any campus.
Because they want an audience, and you're providing the audience.
Exactly. And the fascinating thing about it, which we didn't think about at the time, is that if you're at a university, when you see a Tribe Called Quest or De La Soul or any other artist, Public Enemy that we brought to the universities, the university was a cosmopolitan view of the world. So you had people from New York, you had people from California, you had people from Nigeria, you had people from all over the world. So they'll call home and say, hey, I just saw Public Enemy. Hey, I just saw a Tribe Called Quest. And then it would reverberate. So then they saw value.
That would be us.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
kids
We're
would-
the kids
we're-
being called like, yo,
we're-
check these guys out. You know, like,
Oh, really?
yeah.
For sure. What? Like if we went to Howard University at that time and you brought these artists that you're naming, we're definitely
You would take the
those
cassettes
kids.
back home with you. You know, like, yeah.
And listen, those concerts, you get to see Method Man for $10. You know?
What are we talking about?
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to book a flight and like plan things just to go in March.
I swear you drove to the UAE a couple of months ago to see Nas.
Nas, yeah.
So that's definitely us.
We had everybody. We never did Nas, but we had everybody that came because hip hop had no real audience. Like I shouldn't say that. The venues wouldn't take us because of the insurance or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Hip hop usually comes with high risk. Right?
Exactly. You know, and then Russell started to do tours, but still our audience was a captive audience because we had the black colleges and universities. And my first big check was from Motown. They paid me not me and my team. Yeah. They paid us $25,000.
Wow.
As a fee
to put on this.
To put on the shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what happened was people would come to me all the time with demo tapes. Hey, because they thought I was in the music business between Divine Sounds and doing this and that. And I saw Russell in that fur jacket. I said, yeah, I would start me a record company too, you know? And my first group was my first group was a group called Two Kings in the Cypher. And Kenny Gamble helped us get a deal. And it was Ron Lawrence and Derek Angeletti were the rappers. And the project failed. But they became two of the most premier producers in hip-hop. Ron Lawrence produced a lot of stuff for Biggie, and Derek was the head of A&R for Bad Boy.
Oh wow.
So they produced,
Okay.
you
Wow.
know, they
They did a
hip-hop
nice
legends.
pivot. You know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it hit us hard because we thought we were going to be successful, but it didn't break us, you know. So they went on, and then I went on. My second group was a group called Pure Soul, and there was 4 girls from Howard University, with the lead singer Sean Allen, and we got our first hit record with Pure Soul. We Must Be in Love, and that's how I got my first big deal.
So this sounds like a very exciting chapter in your life,
It was,
and
it
it
was,
sounds like a lot of learning
yeah,
in that time.
yeah.
Because I know we're talking about now. This is what 30 years ago. All of this, what we're talking about right now,
Give or take.
give or take. Yeah. I'm not to make you feel old or anything. No, because you're playing. I mean, we're gonna get to the part where you're playing a young man's game today. By the way, just so you
And
know.
I outwork them all.
You're gonna exactly 100%. I completely agree. By the way, but so where does that chapter sort of like you discover or you work with Drew Hill, you work with legends like Maya, Sisqo, and then where does this chapter kind of end and where does the next chapter begin?
We were making so many hits, like the hits in a row. It was just an incredible run because I had some incredible mentors. Paul Marshall, Kenny Gamble, Jimmy Iovine. We did a good deal with Jimmy at Interscope. And I never really talked about this until now, right? But one of my daughters got sick. And she started to devolve so much so that she died. Yeah. And that shook me because I couldn't be creative anymore. So I just took off. I had some property in Belize, and I just stayed there. And most people don't know, like, because I didn't talk about it, you know. And I kind of feel bad because I didn't tell Jimmy Iovine. He was just a great supporter, but I had to just, you know. Most people, you when you think about life, you think about the fact that you have to prepare yourself for your parents' death. You have to prepare yourself to bury your parents.
Yeah.
But you don't prepare yourself to bury your children. And you don't know what kind of effect that's going to have on you know. And to me, now that I look back on it, I think I slid into depression. You know, not really understanding, like,
What did that look like? How did this, when you reflect on it, how does that look like? How did it present itself?
I couldn't create.
And how do you think Islam helped you with that? Like, do you think just to battle that?
No, Islam was always a part of my life, you know, since I was awakened.
Yeah.
But nothing prepares you for the death of a child.
It's almost unnatural because, as you said, like
Yeah.
you bury your parents, but like to do the other way around is
Yeah,
that's
right.
really
Yeah,
it's
difficult.
incomparable. Yeah.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
So when I look back, I know now that I was in a bad place. But the most important thing about that is that I couldn't create. I could not create. And by nature, man is supposed to produce. By nature,
Yep.
you're supposed to create. Not only because of what you create with your woman, but what you create
For the world.
in the world. So if you can't create, who are you? What
Yeah.
are you? You know? And I'm not talking about just creating a video or a record or a song. I'm just talking about being
Producing,
productive,
yeah,
producing.
Yeah.
You know, so I couldn't do that. And it really took the death of my mother to put me back on track, because she told me that, you know, she knew I was, now I'm getting wispy, you know.
It's all good.
But Like she knew I wasn't happy, and she knew that the only way I would be happy was to go back to making music or whatever else I needed to create. You know, we would spend a lot of time together because her death wasn't instantaneous. It was slow.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I watched it, so I got a chance to sit down and talk to her about.
Was it cancer?
No, it was just. It wasn't cancer. It was just whatever it was. It was slow.
Yeah.
She had several heart attacks,
Okay.
and it just compounded,
Yeah.
and it was slow.
Ramadan.
Yeah.
Like right now, we're in a time of the year which is all about sort of looking inwards, reflecting, trying to build up good habits, trying to remove bad habits. What's your experience been with Ramadan throughout your life, really?
Did you only experience it in America, or did you experience it elsewhere?
No, this will be the first time I'll experience it in a Muslim country.
Oh.
I'll be here for a few days.
Nice.
And for me, I just want to be a better Muslim.
What does Ramadan look like in New York City, for example? How does it feel?
It feels fantastic. But you're fighting in a world of opposition.
Yeah.
That's the part that I want to talk about.
Everything that being Muslim is the thesis, and being in New York is the antithesis. You know what I'm saying?
So how do you navigate that battle?
It's an internal jihad.
Yeah.
It's just a struggle, you know? And that's why I'm looking forward to being here, and inshallah, hopefully for the rest of my natural born life, I'll spend 30 days outside of New York City.
Inshallah.
But let me tell you something. When I was growing up, the dominant culture in New York was Jewish.
Yeah.
And I say that because, you know, my mother introduced me to so many different types of lifestyles, cultures, and whatever. And I remember she would take me to this deli called Katz on the Lower East Side.
Cat's Deli.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a famous one.
famous deli. My mom would take me there. Even though we lived in Queens, we'd get on the train and go to Katz Deli. And she would like, don't tell your father. Don't tell your father. And we go there to have pastrami sandwiches.
Pastrami sandwiches.
Yeah. And my mom would, me and my mom would go there and eat them sandwiches, boy. But we knew shalom, we knew kosher, we knew everything about Jewish culture. There's a part of my life, and it was a good part of my life. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we in New York is such a diverse place. Like, you're with Jews, you're with Catholic, you're with Muslims, but everybody gets along, you know? And it's a wonderful experience because of the diversity and because of the tolerance that everyone has for each other and the support. Because I know when I go into a Jewish deli, it's halal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now in New York, right? And for school we used to get the Jewish holidays off.
Oh, nice.
So I knew all the Jewish holidays. I said, you know, shalom, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? We got the day off. But now the dominant culture is Islam.
In New York.
In New York, everybody knows what halal is.
Yeah.
Ramadan, we get Eid off, you know.
In schools, you would get Eid off.
You get Eid off.
Wow.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
didn't know that.
The mayor is Muslim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's the fastest growing religion in New York City. And there's so many Muslims. And everybody knows Assalamu alaikum. And
That's true.
even if you're not Muslim, you say wa alaikum salam. So now there's a higher level of comfortability, and there's a higher level of tolerance because there's Ramadan streets, because there's many Muslim streets in New York that's controlled by Muslim vendors and the mosque and all that. and everybody knows, like everybody knows. Oh, it's Ramadan. Don't
So you
Respect.
saw New York becoming more Ramadan friendly over the years.
exactly.
Yeah.
And more, and Muslim culture becoming a part of, like,
Yeah.
you go, like the bodega is now halal. You know, because the Yemenis control
guy,
all the
who's
bodegas.
that popular guy? The
Yeah.
Akiwe. The guy, the popular guy. He was just here actually. In
Oh,
Qatar.
really?
Yeah, the Akiwe. Have you ever seen that?
No.
There's this bodega in New York City, apparently. I think it's in New York City, where the Yemeni guy is also Yemeni.
They're all Yemenis, right?
but he's-
They're all Yemenis.
Yeah, so he does like this content, and he has like the what is it called? The chopped cheese sandwiches.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
He does them the Aki way.
Oh,
And then it's like his content goes crazy. Like he has all the celebrities coming over. Hey, can I get a chopped cheese the Aki way?
Yeah.
Sure. It's hilarious.
yeah. No. It's amazing how Muslim culture has risen.
Yeah.
You know, it's really amazing, and that helps during Ramadan.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody know, and people
They
respect
understand it.
Yeah, they understand it. You
I
know?
guess it's worse what arguably be during the 9/11 period. That's where Muslim culture was almost like kind of taboo
Yeah.
to celebrate or to even kind of showcase.
Yeah, get on a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Versus
I-
now, where it's actually the mayor is Muslim, the halal carts are everywhere,
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
so, subhanallah,
everywhere.
like
Everywhere.
you can't hide the haqq, you know, like it's that's like that.
So there's this through line that I see through your story, which is you're creative, you're somewhat of a community builder, and in case no one has told you this, but I'm sure people have, you're an excellent storyteller.
Oh, thank you.
You really are, yeah.
And so I wonder if it's those three elements that contribute to like the projects that you're working on today, with things like the MIETS Conference, which again is sort of a community builder, but also servicing Muslims and young Muslims at that. Some of the creative projects that you're working on, whether it's documentaries, the one that you mentioned, is that sort of the guiding identity which governs a lot of your work?
The Quran teaches us that everyone has purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens in the world is that sometimes the world snuffs out your purpose and you don't get a chance to figure out who you are, what your purpose is. I believe I know my purpose, and I'm trying my best, inshallah, to fulfill my purpose while I'm on the earth.
What is your purpose in your words?
To spread Islam through the vehicles that I've been given, the communicative vehicles, film, music, any way I can tell a story. And if I can discover someone along the way to help them bring out what's in them, that's a part of my purpose. Finding people who have yet to discover their purpose and help them become who they're destined to be. You know,
That's very deep.
I look at, one of my favorite artists is Maya. Who I discovered. And I remember she's one of the hardest workers, ever since I met her when she was like 16. And I'm so proud of her because of from where she was to the woman that she's become. But I remember, like, when I met her, 16, and I had to talk to her parents to let her parents know this is what I want to do. I think I can make your child a star, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they gave me
The green light.
the green light to do it. And when you think about it, because I would take Maya everywhere, and her parents let me go in this crazy world. You know what I'm saying? So a few weeks ago, she was on a podcast and she talked about, me and how I, helped her. And it not only helped her, I was there to bring out what's inside of her.
Right.
Yeah.
And that brought such a joy to me because that's a part of my purpose. Understand? To watch her and to see her doing her thing, and to her to talk about something that happened 30 some odd years ago, and her understanding my place in her life. Because there are people in your life that if you took that person out of your life, your purpose would be shattered. You know, not everybody you meet doesn't matter, but there are people that meet that do matter.
Yeah.
And I can talk about, like, Minister Farrakhan mattered to me, outside of my parents, of course.
Yeah.
Kenny Gamble mattered to me. Paul Marshall mattered to me. Jimmy Iovine mattered to me. Because if you remove one of them, I don't know where my life would be, you know? So these men serve as examples for me as to what I have to pass on. So that's why my focus is young people. So with everything that I do, I try to give to young people. Each one teach one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I learned from the 5% is that, you know, the future is in the youth, which sounds pretty
Played out, but it's true.
But it's true.
It's factually the truth. It's it's only with the youth. It's not with anybody else.
Anybody else. So
Yeah.
that's why my focus is young people, and me helping them discover their purpose.
Can we take a moment?
Sure.
Can we take a moment?
I want to circle. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Actually, you go ahead first.
I just want to, because you sent it to Ayman, actually, the speech of Minister Louis Farrakhan about the true Christian love.
Yeah.
And it was just, I've heard his speeches, but this was really beautiful to watch. And just the energy and never mind his knowledge, just the way he plays with his like octaves to kind of grab or emphasize a point. What would you like main takeaways from him? Like, what did you learn from him? I know it's a
Sounds like a whole nother episode.
Yeah, it really is.
Because he's
I'll tell you a story.
okay.
I used to bring him to Howard all the time, right? Now I'm getting watery, wispy again, right? And the first time I met him when I was in high school, and for some reason he liked me. I don't know what it was, my energy. He gave me his whole phone number, and I used to call him and talk to him. And I talk crazy to him sometimes, but it was okay, you know. He just put up with me. So I brought him to Howard University, and when I saw him, he said, back then I was True. He said, True, listen, write down some things that you want me to speak about, and you know, I'll touch base on those things, right? And I had to organize everything, you know, and I'd make sure the students were there, everything. And I didn't remember what he said or asked me to do until I saw him. and I said, oh my God. I said, Brother Minister, I didn't write anything down. I've just been so busy. I was running. He said, don't worry about it. Don't worry. All right, so I introduce him, and I'm sitting right there next to him, right? And there's a podium, and the only thing there was the Holy Quran. No notes.
Wow.
Nothing. He ran down the history of black people in America, from Africa to black, and he did everything in order in terms of the leadership and the organizations. I never seen anything like it in my life.
Just off the dome?
Off the dome, off the top of his head. There were no notes, and I'm looking. There were no notes. I've never seen anything like this in my life. And I said, that's my man right there. Because I saw, I'm sitting there. There's nothing. There's no notes. There's nothing. And the history of Africans and Africans in America, the sojourn from there to here, and the leadership that we produced. I'm talking about the obscure leadership like Bishop McNeil Turner and Paul Cuffey.
Okay.
These are people that most people don't even know, you know? And he's running it down in order. I said, that's my man. The other thing he would do that took me to a whole nother level he would invite me to dinner, you know, and this was table talk. And I'm from Queens. I don't dinner, knife, fork. So I used to watch him, what fork he used, what knife he used. I used to just watch him. So then I learned how
Yeah.
Etiquette.
etiquette. Exactly. So I can go on,
Yeah.
man. But just those things right there, that speech, that's one of my favorite speeches. But I've heard better.
Yeah. Really. Yeah.
And I've heard better when I was sitting right there.
Which may have not even been filmed. Not on YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a couple. There was one speech that he made at a Christian church. I never heard a speech like that. And the true Christian, nothing
Also off the dome.
off the dome.
It's amazing.
skill.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's subhanAllah. It's a blessing in him. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
he's such a.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not even to say a public speaker is like to downgrade what he's about.
Yeah.
It's like he's actually getting the message of the Deen and like the importance of being proud and black and a Muslim in a world where or in a place where it's not really you're not supposed to. You're not
I'm
allowed
gonna
to.
turn the table for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, what did you think of the speech?
It honestly.
I was
wanted to
moved.
make a joke or like wanted me to blow up, so but no, but like it just made me feel powerful. It made me
Yeah.
like this man has this much knowledge and I think what genius is to be able to break down something complex but to do it so simply, and that's what he did. Like he broke and like he's using the Bible to explain things like
to
Yeah.
Like from a Muslim perspective, but also not
and
from
the
a Muslim
and the
perspective.
audience is mixed. I don't think the audience was all Muslims. I think the audience was just
No,
like-
the audience was primarily Christian. It was in a Christian church.
it was in a
Yeah.
church. I thought it was in like
No.
somewhere in New York or just
It was
whatever.
a Christian church. I think it's either Detroit or Chicago.
Wow.
And I think also it goes back to like the delivery.
Yeah.
Like I'm someone that my attention span is very short. Self-diagnosed ADHD, but I was locked in.
Yeah.
Like I was locked in, like for the whole. Like I remember I was actually in a coffee shop. I was working in a coffee shop. I had my laptop out, and I was like, "You sent it to me," and then I sent it to him, and then I was like, "You know what? Take a peek." And then I couldn't stop until I finished it.
Like you were hearing the truth somehow. I don't know how to explain it to you, but like just what he was saying was
It's the tone, the way he delivers, his pauses.
it's what a preacher is supposed to do. You take the word of scripture and you tie it in with what's going on in the society, and to get the higher message out of it and how to implement it. It was
Crazy.
It was perfect. It was actually
Yeah.
perfect. And,
MashaAllah.
and it's not even top 5, like that's
No,
what
it ain't even. No, it ain't in the top. It ain't even top. I don't think it's in the top 50. From the stuff
And
that
you
I
know,
heard.
Louis Farrakhan is someone that I've been watching. Like I've watched interviews that he's done on radio stations, popular shows like The Breakfast Club, all types of stuff. But I haven't watched a lot of his like live things that he's done live with a live audience. They're both incredible. Like both formats are incredible, but the live one hits completely different.
Imagine being there. Imagine
Yeah,
sitting
yeah.
there.
Crazy.
Yeah,
you know,
because I'm
it-
telling you, like
Yeah,
I
crazy.
felt that. I don't know how to explain it, but it was an energy of like, let's go, let's just go, whatever. I'm behind you, minister.
And this is why I said to Eamon, and I always say, the greatest leader that Black America produced, in my humble judgment, is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Because all these men he produced, extraordinary men. I mean, extraordinary men.
It's true. Yeah.
You know, because people look at Malcolm, but Malcolm lived less than a year after he left the nation,
It's true.
and
For those wondering, we're talking about Malcolm X.
Yeah.
and what made Malcolm popular was his years in the nation. I think it was 12 to 14 years. You know, so I met these men, and they're extraordinary men, and they delivered Islam the way it was supposed to be delivered to us, because now when somebody comes on my show you can trace their roots back to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the majority.
Yeah.
You know, either their great-grandfather, their grandfather was in the Nation of Islam. So, I don't know what else to say.
No, fair. It's like you
No,
have people that
it's-
are born Muslims because
Yeah.
of and easily traceable to this man. That argument makes itself. So.
I think there's also a part of it which is like we have to also give you your flowers here, because all of these things that you're talking to us about, we're sitting here in a studio in Doha, in Qatar, which is quite literally the other side of the world from where all of these stories and things happened. And for you, like, you're a living legend. Let's just start there. Like, mashallah, I think you've been a part of a time, and you've taken somewhat of a responsibility to continue the message and to continue sort of, it's like you said, it's part of your purpose to continue spreading this message and to continue sort of living in it and being a part of it. So I think it's also important for us to highlight the fact that, like, this is what I wanted to take a moment for.
Yeah,
earlier,
no,
which is like all these names that you've mentioned through this podcast, through this episode that we're filming in Doha, Qatar, again, right? Like Maya, Drew Hill, Jimmy Iovine. Jimmy Iovine gave us 50 Cent and Eminem. Like all of these.
And Dr. Dre.
And Dr. Dre, of course.
And no doubt, Gwen Stefani.
Right. So like all of these names.
Jimmy, man, this guy. He's one of the. I gotta talk about him.
Go for it, please.
Because he's one of my greatest teachers. I'll tell you a funny story, right? So, I won't tell those because it'll take too long. But I tell you, so I get to my lawyer's Paul Marshall's office, right? We had promoted Pure Soul, and we were doing stuff, and we were making success. We didn't know what we were doing. We just doing it because most of your black college radio station, or most of your black college and university had major radio stations. So we got them to play this record. And with these radio stations, they would be sometimes the biggest radio station in that city, right? So the record was booming. We had no support. It was just us, me and my bunch of college students, because I was in grad school at the time, and the students at Howard would be my interns. We had no money.
Yeah.
So we had gotten on people's radar. And my lawyer he said, I came to his office, and Jimmy Iovine said, he was on the phone. I didn't know who Jimmy Iovine was. And my lawyer said, talk to him. And Jimmy says, he has a strange voice, he said, they tell me you're smart. Say something smart and I'll give you a deal. And I said, Jimmy Iovine is the greatest record man in the history of the music business. He says, get on the next plane to Los Angeles. And then he hangs up, right? And then I said, Paul, I ain't got no money. He says, don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything, right? So they get me a plane ticket, and there's two airports. There's Washington National, and there's Dulles. Dulles is like an hour and a half outside of D.C. We thought the plane left from Washington National. And I never been on a plane like this before. I thought Washington National. Said no, and we get to the ticket. He said, no, your
Flights from Dulles.
From Dulles. And so my man, I said, yo, I gotta go to Dulles. So he puts it, all the way down and driving to Dulles. So I can't miss this flight, right? So I get to the ticket counter. Yeah. And the lady says, hurry, you're gonna make the flight. And then across the airways, and they're saying, yes, we have to wait for passenger 1A to arrive. I said, wow, I'm glad he's late just like me, right? So when I get on the plane, they said, ladies and gentlemen, passenger 1A has arrived. And then everybody starts clapping. And I'm in first class. I remember I'm from Queens. I'm in first class. You know, and I was like, yo, it's in first class. Okay. So they get, this was, you know, before movies and everything. They gave me movies, they gave me ice cream, they gave me everything I wanted, right? The pilot came out and shook my hand. You know, that was crazy. So I get off the plane, and there's a guy there with he has a sign up, Haqq Islam, right? And I said, damn, I thought he was the police or something. I'm serious. You got to remember where I come from. It's like, so I'm watching him, and I'm watching my bags. I'm watching him, and I'm watching my bags. And I'm watching him, I'm watching my bag. And it got to the point where the only thing there was my bags and him. And he's like waiting for Haqq Islam. So I go up next to him, and I say, I'm Haqq Islam. And I'm waiting for something to jump off, police to come out, whatever. And he says, oh, and he goes to grab my bags. And I was like, yo, don't crap. What's up, you know? Because I didn't know. He said, no, sir, we have a car waiting for you, right? So he picks up my bags. I said, man, maybe I should fall back and just watch everything, right?
But stay close enough.
But stay close enough. This is my bags. So he puts my bags in the car. He said, they're going to take you to the hotel, right? So when I get to the hotel, there's a big sign, welcome Haqq Islam, with balloons and everything like that. Right? No, because he wants to do the deal, and he does. You know what I'm saying? He's
trying to butter you up.
Butter me up. I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know this was the part of the game.
Am I being punked right now? You
Yeah.
know what's
So I get to the counter, and they said, Mr. Islam, we're happy to have you, da-da-da. And this was like, I forgot the name of the hotel. It's in Santa Monica, right? So you go out, and the beach is right there, right? So he said, Jimmy wants you to call his office when you got there. So they pick up the phone, and they say, hey, Haqq, listen, it's Friday. He said, Jimmy's having a party at his house tomorrow. Wants you to come to his house. And I'm like, first of all, I ain't got no money. But second of all, I ain't got no car. So I don't say nothing. I said, well, maybe. He said, well, listen, we're going to send a rent-a-car over for you. It's going to be a convertible Mustang. Do anything you want, you know. But the meeting is set for Monday. You have Sunday to yourself, but tomorrow be at Jimmy's house. And they gave me directions to his house, right? All right. So I drive down to 10, and his house is sitting on a hill. And if you just run straight, you run into the ocean, the Pacific Ocean.
Wow.
Right? So I get there, and it's a party, right? And some famous guy is singing, the Footloose guy, I forgot his name.
Kevin Bacon?
No, the singer, the guy that sang Footloose. He's playing at the party. Suge Knight, Snoop Dogg, everybody's there, right? And it's a party, and it's for Jimmy's kid, right? And so it's a lot of kids running around. There's the carousel. It's nuts, right? And I say, I'm here to meet Jimmy, and then I go over to him, and they say, hey, Jimmy, this is Haqq. He said, Haqq, enjoy yourself, have a good time, da-da-da-da.
The impression is crazy.
It's crazy, right? Because you got over there, there's the death row people playing football, because it's a mansion. It's a mansion, you know? And I'm like overwhelmed. The whole experience, I'm overwhelmed, right? So
Probably still thinks it's a prank at the
yeah, I didn't know what's going on. And I forgot to tell you, at the hotel, they said, look, the credit card was down, so I could eat anything I want. And they said, listen, he had a masseuse come over to give me a massage. It was nuts, right? Okay, so I get to the office on Monday, and he's talking to me, and he says, I'm going to do a deal with you, right? I got problems back home. We're getting ready to get evicted and from the office, and the phones are getting ready to be turned
This
on.
is at University Records.
At University Records, in University Promotions. Everything's getting ready to happen. So he's saying, I like you. I'm going to do a deal. And I'm looking out the window. He says, you should be happy. I said, yeah. but I got some real problems back home. You know, he said, what's the problem? I said, well, they're getting ready to evict us from our office, and they're getting ready to shut off the phones, and I got my staff and everything. He says, look, if we don't do a deal or we do a deal, doesn't matter. I like you. How much money do you need? And I'm looking at him. What do you mean how much? And I'm looking at him. He said, no, seriously, how much money you need? Because I want to do a deal with you, but if I know other people are after you, and if you don't want to do the deal, it's okay. Just tell me how much you need. I'm looking at him.
Suspect.
Something's not right. He said, no, seriously, what do you need? And I said, can you give me 10 grand? And when it came out my mouth, I knew it was the wrong number. You know, because then he looked at me with a smirk. He picked up the phone, and he called such and such. He said, hey, come on in here. My friend Haqq, give him 10 grand. Right, take this check, go to that bank downstairs,
Deposit.
and cash it, and come on back. And me and you gonna have lunch. And I said, damn, I could have got 50,
100.
100. You know, but that was the start of our relationship.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how much that man taught me, because it wasn't about the money.
Of course.
Although we made money together. But what he taught me was just so incredible, you know. And with these mentors that have helped to change my life, I hope, inshallah, I'm able
You're
to
able
change
to
it.
do the same.
Yeah.
Pay it forward.
It's only there. So
Yeah.
that's beautiful, man.
So Haqq, first of all, we can keep doing this for the next 6 hours. All right, I have no doubt. But we do also have this really cool game that we want to play with you called Dare to Share. It's a bunch of questions. We picked out the questions in advance because I thought there were ones which would bring out some interesting answers. So we're just going to get started. I have 4, Omar has 4.
All right.
And hopefully these are going to cover some things we haven't talked about so far.
All right, let's go.
You want to start, Ayman?
Because I know
No,
we
you
getting
go
ready,
first.
we getting ready to eat this fish.
We are going to get, we're going to,
You're rumbling. I'm
yeah.
hungry too.
That fish is going to go down for
All right.
sure.
Okay, here's an easy one. What intrusive thoughts are you currently battling with?
Intrusive thoughts?
Yeah.
I'm looking for a wife.
Those are intrusive?
It's intrusive because you get a lot of distractions in the meantime.
Fair enough. Fair
They
enough.
intrude themselves on you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What is something that's been said about you that you will never forget?
What you said today, you know, and you want to give me my flowers. Appreciate that.
No, for sure.
Thanks.
I think it was only right.
Well overdue.
Thank
All
you.
right, yeah. All right, I have all these Oprah questions
You
here.
want to
so-
elaborate on the wife, though? We can talk about that.
No, I'm
We
coming.
can, we can talk about that
Yeah.
over fish, or we can talk about it right
No,
now.
we're going
It's-
to make sure that y'all know I'm looking for a wife.
Put his number, his ads, you know.
Yeah.
Put all, we'll
No,
put all the
we
social
won't do
medias
that
in.
because you get them extra DMs.
That's how
Yeah,
the distractions
But
happen.
you know what you can do? Yeah, them
No, it's we have the love theory is also something we're working
We do.
on.
Yeah, yeah. We're going to get there.
What's the biggest mistake you've made in a relationship, romantic or not?
There's somebody that I should have married. That I blew that.
Wow.
That's that's
Everyone has that one person, right? I
Yeah,
think.
and she knows who she is, and
I can't confirm nor deny any of these things
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
newly
yeah,
married
yeah.
man. All right,
Yeah,
okay.
but Allah is the best knower.
yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
But
That's true. That's a very good perspective,
Yeah.
to be honest.
yeah,
Like, we talk about this as well a lot, which is like,
وعسى أن تكرهوا شيئا وهو خير لكم.
exactly.
It's like, yeah.
Um,
Sometimes you hate something, but it's good for you, or
sometimes
Yeah.
you love something and it's bad for you.
Yeah.
So you just have to tawakkal at the end of the day and trust
yeah,
that.
trust that Allah knows best.
Exactly. Yeah. Damn. All right. The love theory. Let's leave this further. Who has most influenced the way you think?
I would say Allah.
Oh, that's a good answer.
I would say, can I continue?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
of course.
Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
So,
I would say the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I would say Kenny Gamble. I would say Jimmy Iovine. Yeah, because
Minister Farrakhan.
Minister Farrakhan, I was just going to say, because oft times when I'm about to do something, I can hear them in my mind.
Wow.
It's a
You
good
know?
group of people to have in your.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like, isn't that wild?
It's actually-
Sometimes I don't know, man. This doesn't feel real.
You
but,
know,
yeah.
like Jimmy, I'd get to the Interscope office in LA, and I'd go there with an agenda, what I'm gonna do, right? And I'd sneak in, and then somebody would, Jimmy's looking for you, right? And then he'd call me into his office, and I'd sit there all day, right? I got this to do, I got that to do. But I didn't know what he was doing, because this was preparing me to be an executive, because I would be sitting in on meetings and things that he had going on, conversations. And those were the best learning experiences, you know? Even down to when Minister Farrakhan, when we'd have dinner and there'd be people those were the best learning experiences. Not only because I learned how to use a knife and a fork, but because of the conversations.
The knowledge.
The knowledge, yeah. Same thing with Kenny Gamble. Kenny Gamble would take me everywhere. And those experiences, I remember he took me to a dinner, and at the table was him, it was me, him, Berry Gordy, and Quincy Jones.
What a table.
And I turned to Berry Gordy and I said, Mr. Gordy?
How'd you do that with your voice? No, I'm joking.
I said, Mr. Gordy? He said, yes. And I didn't say another word the rest of the night. What do you say?
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
All right. Is there a bad habit you keep trying to break but haven't been able to?
To be consistent in life. To be consistent in prayer, to be consistent as a man, to be consistent in business. You know, we talked about this earlier, how what we learn as Muslims is repetition.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the importance of
Routine.
doing the same thing over and over again. Because it's not the same thing,
Yeah. But you're committing to doing it.
but you're committed to doing it. Yeah.
You're right. It's such a, because yeah, like the fact that if you pray 5 times a day, so you're committed to doing this 5 times a day, regardless of how you're feeling
Yeah.
or whatever, that opens doors in your mind to commit to other things more frequently and
Yeah.
have that dedication. So, alhamdulillah.
Teaches you the skill.
Yeah.
Because you have to pray 5 times a day, but you want to pray, hopefully, at the right times, so spreading them out.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, things happen, life happens, and you end up maybe combining two and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's always, then you realize that and you try to be better. And if you get to like the top of the hill,
Yeah.
you're praying each one at the perfect time, at the mosque, preferably. What do you feel is missing in your life right now? I think I know the answer.
A wife. Because that's half my deen. And with all that I have going on, I need a partner. I need somebody to take care of me. I need somebody that can take care of, that I can take care of and build with, because ultimately with the family and everything, the family is everything. Family is your business. The family is everything. So the more I grow, the more I say, yeah,
Need that.
Need
Yeah.
a wife,
All right.
but the right wife.
Yeah.
You know.
What is the best decision you've ever made, besides coming on the Noop Theory, of course?
It's got to be up.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the best decisions were made for me.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
I like that.
Do you wanna elaborate on that at all? What's something you wish you could tell your younger self?
The importance of relationships, and I'm not only talking about on male female side, but just relationships, because relationships have more value than money. Just make sure you treat everybody with respect, dignity, and understand what Gamble taught me is the same people you see on the way up is the same people you see on the way down. So make sure you treat everybody with respect and maintain those relationships. Try your best. I know sometimes it's difficult where you feel you want to turn away from your brother, but try not to.
Yeah.
Maintain those relationships.
Do you think it's harder? Go ahead.
No, sorry. Go on.
I was just gonna say, do you think it's harder today? Because this is something that I personally struggle with. Do you think it's harder to maintain a relationship in 2026 compared to 2005?
I never really gave that any thought, to be honest with you. You know, I remember at Howard being slick, you know, in terms of women, you know, and you can't be slick today, I tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, like my nephew always says, man, this is the only generation that snitches on themselves, right? Because you know,
Everything's publicized. Like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
you go out with a girl on Tuesday, and then she's showing her
Snapchat
the food that she's having on Thursday. So, well, who's that with? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but that's what I'm saying. You know, I just try to maintain my values as an OG.
But I was even talking about it more from like everything is so fast and like microwave. We're in a microwave era. Like everything is fast. It's constantly changing. Days feel like they move past faster, and so you might think about, like I'll think about, oh, I haven't spoken to Haqq in a couple of weeks. Maybe I should just give him a call. But then a week later and I still haven't. Like I'll have to actively make a reminder to give you a call, for example, or.
Well, listen.
So how do you do it? I guess is the question.
I'm striving like everybody else. You know, it's like I being on this side of the world is better.
Yeah.
Because you don't have as many distractions.
That's true.
And I just like it over here. It's very peaceful. On
It's
this
quiet.
side of the earth.
Yeah.
Quiet.
It's
You
quiet.
get time to think and just be to yourself. So, you know, listen. What I love about this place is so many things I love about Qatar, you know, and this is why we're striving, inshallah, to set up business here. But the focus is on where it's supposed to be. Family, maintaining family. You know, like you guys say, listen, I'm gonna be my wife. Or like one time I was talking to you, you said, well, I can't do that because I'm taking my mother-in-law out or something like that. I was like, damn, you never hear that in America. You know what I'm saying? You just don't, you know?
It's true.
So there's a different emphasis here, which is beautiful. I was walking around yesterday after Juma, and I just, families just out. The kids, you see a man and his wife and 5 kids, a man with 2 wives and 10 kids. It's just a beautiful sight, you know? Then if you go down to the souk,
Sukwagif.
kids running everywhere, just kids. And then kids on a camel, kids on a horse, kids kids, man. And the freedom to be a kid. MashaAllah, it's just beautiful, man.
It really is.
Because your kids can't run around like that because you might get snatched.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's
no, alhamdulillah.
a different level of thinking,
Yeah.
you know? And people are having babies on this side of the world, having babies. And there's a freedom of expression that happens. And what I'm so happy with is that kids can be kids.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
That's definitely true.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. So,
Anything else from your side?
Just thank you, brother Haqq. You like enlightened us. You made us laugh. You made us ponder. Appreciate that. I really do.
Thank you for having me.
Is there anything we haven't spoke about that you would like to talk about?
Man, shoot, there's so much. Man, I got stories.
I know. I know. I told you we can do this for 6 hours. But if there's anything that's really, really top of mind that you kind of want to get out, love.
I think that the ultimate expression of Allah is love, and I think that humanity is lacking love. Because ultimately, the ultimate expression of a man and a woman is love. When they produce the offspring, you know, that's produced in love, you know. And I think that we go through stage after stage as in our quest to evolve closer to Allah, to experience a new love, a profound love, a love that we don't know, because you know, like Allah is beyond your comprehension. And I think that the love that He has for us is beyond our comprehension.
100%.
And the love that I'm looking for within my wife is beyond comprehension. It's beyond something I've ever experienced before in my life. And I think that that's the ultimate expression on as we evolve,
Right.
and then on this level, which I'm looking for that expression of love.
Whew.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You got
Drop
me
the
teary,
mic.
man.
Mic drop.
Yeah, okay.
This the love theory.
I love love, man. I love love.
we do love on this show, man. And honestly, you couldn't have said it better. Honestly.
Yeah,
Alhamdulillah.
you're right. That's
Couldn't have said it
the
better.
pinnacle of it. It's like that divine love. When they speak
Yeah.
about it, that's what that is. That's where we
Yeah.
Well, God bless Louis Farrakhan.
Man, Haqq Islam, thank you so much for being on the Noop Theory. Thank you for, honestly, just thank you for your time. Thank you for your everything, man. Thank
much
you for being
appreciated
you.
for reals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for
being
your
you.
friendship. You guys have embraced me as I strive to make Qatar my second home. or
Inshallah.
Inshallah, my first
And
home.
you guys heard it. The man is looking for a wife. So
At the Noop Theory,
at the
we'll
Noop
be
Theory,
taking CVs.
amen
We'll
at the
we'll do some
noops.com.
filtering, all right? Okay.
OMER at the noops.com.
AIMEN. At the
DM
Noops.
at the Noop Theory on Instagram, TikTok, etc. We'll do the we're responsible for the filtration, and then we need to get this man to express all the love that he has to give. Like, you can see it. Like, what are we doing here?
All you gotta do is listen to them love songs. We produce some of the greatest love songs.
There you go. Like, he did it on the music side. He's trying
just,
to do it.
Just put on Beauty. Put on Beauty by Drew Hill.
There you
that's
go.
a great.
Nice.
That's a
There
great
you go.
record.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your
Thank you,
time.
Haqq.
And make sure she's tall. You know.
Inshallah. Inshallah. You guys heard it. He gave you the criteria.
You're already, we're already doing the filtration. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm on it.
Nah, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share fil kheir.
Ameen.
And we'll see y'all on the next one.
Peace.
If it's Eid, Eid Mubarak. If it's
Eid
not,
Mubarak.
we'll have another one for y'all. See you on
Inshallah.
the other side. Peace out.